Good evening, Free Enterprise Channel, and welcome to the final table for Catalite. We have 4 of our 12 finalists here for you tonight. We have Chokosura, Supremacy, Couch 23, and Baka Shinobi, all ready to deal with this Pain Man, Dark Knight Cecil start. I'm Invenerable. With me on comms tonight is Mecha. Mecha, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Already see that that Couch 23 is building his memes out.
I think you cut off a little bit there if you're using push to talk. Missed that last little bit.
I'm using push to talk. Couch is building his memes out.
I like it. I like it. Tacos are the best dang food ever made by humans. Period.
Period.
That's wise words. Wise words. I can't argue with that. But yeah, Catalite, for those of you who are unfamiliar, pretty rude flag set, possibly the hardest one we encounter in the World Series. No random encounters. You can still use a siren if you get one. You only get 5 characters total, and well, I mean, you can only buy cabins, which I always hate having to hunt cabins in the overworld, so it's nice to know they're guaranteed, but you aren't getting anything else. You're not buying your Starvels, your life potions, anything.
Yeah, I actually really like being able to buy cabins as well. Like that it is nice that they're there, but yeah, being unable to buy life. I mean, life glitch isn't enabled here, so it's not as big a deal. Back when that was enabled by default, it was much bigger.
Yeah. And just a reminder for everyone here as well, our tracker tonight is Zyrak. We see Zyrak in the chat there, helping us out, doing good things. And Tirasu is our restreamer here on Free Enterprise Network. So lots of love for them. Keep us in mind, your restream team. Don't forget the runners. We're all here for you tonight, chat. We're all here for you.
And kind of as a setting for what this event actually is, the World Series of Free Enterprise. Each week we do a series of qualifiers leading up to a final table of 12. There are 3 simultaneous restreams going on right now. We have a quartet, and then RBG Limit Break and Randomania, I believe, have the third quartet.
Yeah, and just for point of reference as to our featured streamers here, between Chokosura Supremacy, Couch, and Baka Shinobi, let's go down the World Series overall standings and see how they are stacking up. Chokosura is 2nd overall, behind Dusty Griff, with a total of 32 overall points. Let's see here, scrolling down, Supremacy has 9 overall points. Couch 23 currently, oh yeah, Couch actually made it to a final table, but elected to forfeit rather than finishing the seed, so did not get a point for that. And Baka Shinobi has 9 points already. So all of these racers have already made a final table or more than one. Looking forward to great showings from all of them tonight. Hopefully our 4 will kick some of those other channels' booties. What do you think, Mecha?
I'm certainly hoping. To kind of frame it for everybody, first place in any of these gets 12, and there are 3 of these left, including this one, so there's 36 points out. So Chokosura is definitely in the hunt. Baka Shinobi's actually can tie Dusty Griff, can actually beat Dusty Griff. Yeah, no, tie Dusty Griff right now, right? Like if he wins out, right? Like, so Baka Shinobi's definitely in the race. Get good finishes. So is Supremacy. Right, so Couch is quite a bit behind, but even if he were to win out, he would be ahead of Chokosura right now. So everybody has reason to want to win this one and continue winning out. So.
Yeah, one of the great things about the World Series, too, is that even if you don't like every flag set and feel compelled to take home, the big Kahuna grand title, it could just be a flag set that you really enjoy and you really want to strut your stuff in. But the racers the gate has been dropped. We should be seeing action here any moment now.
You just wanted to say that because you're looking forward to Edward %. Next.
Oh, yeah. Spoony Bards for life.
Rydia. Oh, my. That is not a strong seed early.
That is low powered. You know, we have thrown a bone to the racers with this Catalite flag set, though. The Hobbs flag is on. So instead of just learning Fire 1, Rydia will learn a random summon at Hobbs. Can't learn Bahamut or Leviathan, but could still get some pretty good utility there. And I don't like the Earth Crystal start. Being able to go straight to Troya and just immediately fully loot the treasury can definitely streamline your early game, you know, getting your resources squared away.
I completely agree. Being able to loot, you know, there are as many chests in the locked treasury at Troya as there are easily accessible in the entire rest of the overworld, honestly. So the ability to go and loot that out will be of huge gains. Let's see, everybody's going back. No, one person's going directly to Troya and everybody else is in Baron.
Yep, and we do see Valvolus guarding Rosa. Val at a very rude spot. There's not a lot of HP here, but it's a very fast spot. She's likely to get into her spin before you can do much else. So we're going to be looking for some better weaponry, maybe turning Cecil into a paladin before we can tackle the Baron Inn spot, I think.
Yeah, it's good to know that we have a white mage in the running, though. We've got an ogre axe from Couch, so at least we'll have something for
Oh yeah, and Couch taking all the time to walk up to the little grassy knoll in the north of the town, possibly hoping, you know, if no one else actually targets this spot and I get something really nice, can get off to a very good start above his opponents that way.
Yeah, Couch the first to go into the housing market. Didn't look like anybody found anything really good in Baron. Ooh, we got another divergence. Supremacy's checking out Hypo for one item in the sand.
I've come to kind of like this play because of the fact that knowing who your 5 characters will be helps a lot with inventory management. Right now, we do know that there is Cecil, Rosa, and Rydia in play. Any other characters? Well, you know, what if I find a Yang? I better hold on to all my claws. What if I find a Cain? I better hold on to all my spears. It's going to clog that inventory very quickly. Our racers are going to very soon be wishing they knew who was coming up.
A good example of that is in Troya, they found Earth Hammer, right? Like a weapon one character in the game can equip, right? Like, do you keep it around? Yeah. We saw Rydia in the bed, so nothing good doing there.
So yeah, the finding some good utility items though, like nothing too spectacular. Do find a Zeus Rage, which should make things very easy with some of the early fights here. We do see an Odin summon, so once Rydia gets levels up, it's very low accuracy, but we do not have the NB flag, so free bosses are still in, and having anything that'll let you do insta-kill can still come in handy, even at, you know, low hit rates.
Right. We saw black shirts, so Rydia's got something to wear. We saw something. Oh, we saw some hourglasses too. So if anybody wants to get a little aggressive and go after some of the chests for, you know, in say the castle for extra experience, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like we've got the.
Neon Gray, thank you for the resub. In here calling for Kenatsu Hook. Well, we do have a black mage, so a little less scary than it could be. I'm personally kind of looking forward to... I'm not looking forward. I don't want there to be a Dark Knight Cecil at King Queen Evelyn. I don't want our racers to have to scour the world for sirens, hopefully getting enough encounters from those sirens to have enough HP to survive 3 Dark Waves. Let's just have a nice clean fight, 1 seed only. I don't want any rerolls having to happen.
Looks like Mom Bomb made it all the way to Evelyn, and Couch does not seem interested in that.
Oh.
Not Evelyn. Made it off the mountain.
That'll be, I guess it wiped up all the monks up on Hobbs and worked its way east. But Couch making some... Go ahead.
So Supremacy's got a Dragoon helmet, which is actually really relevant because of its elemental resistances, right? It has the same triplet that all of Dragoon...
Oh yeah, fire, ice, and lightning. Resists all 3. Paladin Cecil will be able to wear that. A great piece of gear too, because Sid can wear it, Cain can wear it. It's kind of like the armor equivalent of, say, bows and arrows. If you find a good bow and arrows, you know that you're going to find a character who can equip it at some point.
Right. Couch is ready to check out how bad the Trial on Ordeals is.
And Tirasu also with the resub. Thank you so much, Tirasu. Tirasu, our restreamer, by the way, tonight, taking time out of their busy schedule to bring the show to you. Ooh, Bahamut in the first spot on Ordeals. If Couch found a Moonveil or Starveil, he might be able to pull this off.
It doesn't look like that's there, so I don't feel like they have the DPS for this one.
Yeah, Supremacy. Supremacy, by the way, showing off that, yeah, we got the Indra summon, so Rydia has some good extra lightning magic. But yeah, Couch I don't think is going to find much purchase through that Bahamut fight. I like what he's doing. He does have hourglasses and he has that assassin dagger, so he's being a little froggy, trying to make plays other people might not. But these bosses might just be too much for his poor little level 10 Dark Knight and level 1 Summoner.
Right, and now we see Supremacy gearing up Rydia. One thing about going through the Hobbs flag is that it actually makes getting the chest in the back end really easy. Usually if you don't have exit, getting the chests on the west side of the mountain is kind of a pain. Mm-hmm. But, Power Staff. Dupe Rydia and the red imps are down.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm surprised Supremacy isn't going for that. That shouldn't be too hard a fight at that spot, especially with how well defended his Rydia is. And that spot has a lot of XP for the taking. So, I mean, I get that you don't really make progress, but at the same time with this team, I want a level or two.
Yeah, Rydia had 41 attack power at level 1. I feel like you absolutely could have taken that slot down.
Oh yeah, that assassin knife in between wearing the black shirt and the tiara, I think she'd be pretty well protected. So we'll see if Baka Shinobi makes the play or if Couch goes through it as well. Plenty of people here attacking Hobbs.
And Dark Knight Cecil's actually getting pretty geared up too.
I mean, a lot of people underestimate him, but if you can find the black sword and some of his higher tiered armor, like, he is designed in the game to last until Ordeals. So that means pretty much any fight here in the overworld, any of these boss spots, if you have good gear on him, he'll do just fine, especially with some of the stat boosts you can get from those weapons.
Baka Shinobi is gonna use an item and take down these Dark Imps for the experience, as we're...
Notice doesn't do too much damage, really hoping, there we go. Baka Shinobi was really wanting that Assassin's Dagger to proc like that, and proc it did.
2 out of 3, this is close.
Probably not too worried about Cecil getting XP, but definitely wants those levels on Rydia just so she can start summoning Indra. Oh, Chokosura! It is Big Brother Golbez.
Oh no. This is a slow fight even if you can beat it, and these characters, as we mentioned, are low on attack. What's the exact HP at this point?
It's only 1,000, so those 2 Zeus Rages should take care of it, but you'll always have that voice in the back of your head, what if I find Odin and need them? What if I find Kenatsu and need them? But given Chokosura's low damage output, I bet he's going to throw both of these very quickly.
Yeah.
I think that Supremacy's doing the same thing. Strolling through his do I have a Starveil? Do I have a Starveil? No Starveils. No. So, Chad, let's go ahead and get our Golbez death counter warmed up. Let's see how many people actually, if anyone actually beats him. Well, these are top-tier racers. They know what they're doing. Let's see how everyone does against them.
Chokosura did a good run buffer and managed to chain Zeus Rages, just like he's... Baka Shinobi's taken the hovercraft around, for rather than flying around at the moment.
So Baka Shinobi, the only one of our racers, I believe, who took the time to kill the Dark Imp. So he's going to have a little more, his Rydia is a little more juiced. She's been juicing. Darkness Crystal, by the way. Ooh, that's a pretty good thing to find. Of course, there's another character in the Lunar Palace. And one of the worries that I always have when playing Catalite Seeds is that what if my Darkness Crystal is behind a ridiculously powerful, fast, nasty boss at the Asura or the Leviathan spots? Having Darkness Crystal means that even if your Crystal's gated by one of those, you still have Lunar access. You can go there, you can fight Trap Chests, you can get your grind on, and eventually just be strong enough to take care of those others.
And that's really important in Catalite because there is a limited amount of XP in the entire game, right? Like, unless you're going to do the degenerate strategy of grinding off of Tower of Babel Sirens, like the game's XP is actually hard capped as what you're going to get. So having access to all of that Lunar XP is a big deal.
Oh yeah. And here, this is where Couch is going to suffer a little bit. He did not loot Baron Town like the other racers did, so he does not have 2 Zeus Rages to throw like Chokosura and Supremacy did. And yeah, there we go. Trollbez taking him down.
All right, Supremacy is going to find Mom Bomb in a second, and we'll see whether they're into it. Chokosura is about to discover the dupe and the red. And also no doubt.
Yeah, another, like, you have an Assassin's Dagger. Get some levels going on. Come on. Baka Shinobi's going to have to try to do this fight through the power of Indra, it looks like. Or, well, no, Baka Shinobi does have 2 Zeus Rages, but I see him getting ready with that call button.
Indra's awful slow. That seems dicey.
Yeah, all the summons pretty much take forever to cast. I mean, I guess Imp is really fast. Chocobo is really fast, but...
Chokosura is about to find a big whale under the ocean. I always imagined that this song has lyrics. I really wish.
I do like this play, by the way. We do have, so not only do we have C5, which means there are 5 total characters available, CX is enabled. So we know that if there is an edge or if there is a foo available in the seed, they have to be gated by a key item. And this is our first easy check for such a character. So I like Chokosura making this play. You go up to the moon, if there's an edge or a foo, you're going to cut through the rest of this overworld, no sweat.
And another note, I mentioned the hourglasses. If you use some hourglasses on the hair dryers, that is a boatload of experience.
Oh yeah. And Baka Shinobi does get the Indra summon off and only has to use 1 Zeus Rage. So Baka Shinobi up in here managing to preserve his J items just a hair going forward.
Well played.
All right, Chokosura is going to give us a peek at this Lunar character, though. Edward, anyone? Edward?
I'm calling Dark Knight Diesel, dude. Let's just keep it.
No, you really don't want people getting characters before going under.
Oh, no, it's our Rosa. We got a Rosa dupe, which is the first one for...
I don't hate it. It's very nice to go ahead and have your white mage to go ahead and be getting experience on her.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, especially given
Supremacy
the Baron
finds
Castle.
a pigtail.
Oh, very nice. But yeah, and also having Rosa before the Baron infight means we have access to aim. Aim can hit Val no matter her spin.
Yeah, no, that's a big gain for beating Val. I agree.
Yeah. I don't think we found any good bows and arrows though, have we?
No. Baka Shinobi's doing the random boss checks to look for Derek Mist. Leviathan was at Octomammoth spot, and CPU is at Derek Mist.
CPU, of course, not the hardest boss in the game, but probably one of the most annoying ones. At least we don't have to worry about chewing through its HP later on the moon, for instance.
Yeah, definitely. The boss really can't do any damage unless you kill the front attackers and defender, but oof, man, it takes a long time to solo it down if you don't have people that are back row glitched or melee attackers.
Yeah.
Because it puts a wall on itself, so you can't even nuke it down.
Zyrak, our tracker, pointing out there was a charm rod in the Fabul throne room. That's the best black magic boosting stat stick we're going to find outside of a key item or trap chest. Plus 10 to wisdom. That Indra summon's looking pretty juicy on Rydia at this point.
Oh yeah, and in the early to mid game, having some AoE capability is a real boost to your speed.
Oh, yeah.
There are a number of places where you just want to be able to kill a field full of bots. And we'll see this with Mom Bomb in a second, where if you didn't have Rydia with a summon, you'd have to use an item, and like you don't get many items in Catalite Seeds.
I would like to point out, by the way, that we do have one of my favorite new Season 2 Fab palettes on the Rydia we're rocking. Chat, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm sure you can catch what Final Fantasy reference that is, right? Oh yeah, Restreamer Tirasu. Easy peasy. That's Terra from Final Fantasy VI.
Couch continues making the aggressive plays, going after some experience in Fabul Castle and possibly some items. Fabul Castle has... I keep mixing those two up, don't I? Evelyn Castle has a lot of chests to check and also a lot of experience to grab from the monsters in it.
Monks and ninjas. I get your confusion.
Yeah, they all two-hand it. Oh, there's Black Sword.
I mean, it's an upgrade. It's a very good upgrade too.
It's an assassin dagger that only he can wield.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm feeling like come on. What your fellow racers? They everyone else is looting Baron. Go check Baron. If there's something important there, it'll catch you up.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have the health to survive the first round of attacks from any of these. And we see exactly that Indra taking out the grenades and bombs after Mom Bomb explodes, and that's exactly what you want that.
Oh yeah. And Rosa here, learning both Life 1 and Cure 2. That's all I ask in the overworld. Berserk's a nice little, extra bit of utility, but even just that one fight, Rosa is going to be devoting so much energy to this team.
Oop, and Supremacy has hit inventory cap, so congratulations, Supremacy. Life is now very...
Yeah, we seem to have found a whole bunch of power staves, which are also pretty nice. If you can go ahead and back row glitch your characters using bows, the power staff has a 99% hit rate. It's pretty much the best hit rate amongst mage weapons. So, it's not quite, a samurai bow, an elven bow, an Artemis bow, but it will hit, it will give you steady damage output in a way that other weapons will just give you those periodic misses.
Yeah. That said, given kind of the two mage characters we have, both of them have ways around that problem. But, yeah. Still, if we pick up another mage, the power staff thing might well.
Now, here's something I'm curious about, Mecha. Did Supremacy happen upon a Starveil or Moonveil since that Golbez fight? I know he didn't have one there, and he's not been too many places since.
I haven't seen one. I haven't seen anybody pick up a Starveil or...
Ooh. Let's see if he's accrued enough DPS to deal with this Bahamut fight. I have my doubts.
Black Toad in the basement.
Ooh, nice. Little extra physical DPS there for Rydia. Tagliato asking in chat, can you explain the back row glitch? Sure. Once a character has the back row bit set, it stays. So you can be in the back row and do full damage to any enemy on the screen. Notably though, if you are in combat, you have to take a turn, take an action with the back row weapon equipped. If you're out of combat, you can just equip it, take it off, boom, you're done. If you're doing it with bows and arrows, you need to equip both. You cannot just equip one or the other. And if you're doing it with Edge, you need to put the long-range weapon in his right hand, not his left. And there you go.
Yeah, and, especially in these Catalite kind of resource-light seeds, being able to back row everybody, as you can see Supremacy doing right now, right? Like, admittedly, not to do with damage with Cecil, but just to keep the characters in the back row and safe, can really help.
So I'm a little sad that Golbez only got a 1 kill on our racers. Let's see how Bahamut stacks up. There's 1. I guess we can count it 2. Couch had to reset out of the fight.
Yeah,
as
Couch reset out pretty quickly, so I think it's 2.
Supremacy not giving another swing, knows he doesn't have the DPS, off to go find. I wonder
and
if
didn't keep a save at the bottom, lost.
Yeah, I'm wondering where our racers are going to go exploring, because with that Bahamut there, everyone is going to want either additional DPS or some means of reflecting. Chokosura using the same Gaia drum that Supremacy did. I love it. I love it. And gets a high roll and finishes it off. Chokosura is through. This is why he's second place overall. Well, not just a high roll on a Gaia drum, but just having the skills that kills and getting through here.
Oh, Couch 23, though, gets a big kill. 12 levels for Rydia out of getting one of the trap chests in Eblan.
Ooh, very nice. And a glass helmet. Very high physical defense on that. His Rydia should be able to take down quite a few more challenges at this point. So I think the key difference, by the way, there, Mecha, between Chokosura and Supremacy is that Chokosura grabbed Rosa before doing Fabul. So his Rosa had levels that Supremacy's did not. And I think that was just enough to take him over the over that HP threshold.
No, I think I agree. We got Odin here. Chokosura used both of the Zeus Rages, so they're on injury.
But you know, that may be enough to do it. Let's see.
Ooh, Baka Shinobi. Gonna try and aim down Valvalus.
Beautiful damage. Just over the 3,000 required to knock this spot out. Chokosura is conquering the mountain in very efficient order. Val knows who to target, throwing everything at the character who has aim. One thing Baka Shinobi is going to have an issue here with, though, is that more little fun mechanical issues with Final Fantasy IV. If you aim from the middle spot, you overflow your hit percentage.
And that's why he missed. Oh, exactly. Wow. And then they nope out rather than realizing that that's the bug. Oh, that cost them a little.
Yep, and Magma Key on ordeals. Chokosura has a way underground. Let's go, Chokosura.
The seed is open. Everywhere except for the specifically gated locations are open now.
Yep. But yeah, for those of you who want to aim with Rosa, keep her out of the middle, because what'll happen is aim will set her accuracy to max.
Oh, come on, Gauntlet, yes!
I mean, they're all very low HP, but this is pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it just takes a lot of time, right? Like, they're all going to be double-digit HP. It's just going to take a nice, long time to grind through killing all of them. Everybody's going to have to do it, though. Everybody has to suffer through the gauntlet.
I mean, I don't know. There could be a hook in Baron N. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But everyone...
We don't have any safe flags on, right? So anything can be, like, any boss can be anywhere.
The B flag is still on, so you won't have the path to... The only path to the underground cannot be gated by Golbez, Valvalus, Wyvern, or the boss in the Odin spot. So, theoretically, the hook could be in Baron N. Probably not. Very unlikely, but...
I was just trying to remember if Bahamut was one of those people, and it wasn't.
Nah. Supremacy does find a nice little Stardust item, which will give him another 800 or so damage when he gets back to the Bahamut fight.
Mute Knife, never a bad tool to...
Oh yeah, even once we get that Cecil transformed, or even Rydia can use it to do bonus damage to Magus Sisters, Asura, things like that.
And so I'm going to note, Supremacy is checking the Watery Passage. This is a place that is often ignored in most non-Catalite style seeds because it's kind of a pain sometimes, and if you don't have exit, getting out is a pain. Mm-hmm. But it also has a lot of chests, and so you can see sometimes when you're feeling a little weak, you end up going this way. I'm surprised Supremacy doesn't have any levels on Rydia. She does pick up Warp fairly early.
Yeah.
Couch is still poking at Eblin.
And it kind of shows just how, although, so this is one thing where I'll say that Catalite, in spite of it, you thinking, oh, it is admittedly very high skill level. You have to pull out everything in your bag of tricks. But for the actual people in the race, it can come down to something as simple as overlooking one specific place to loot. I mean, Couch saw that Earth Crystal and he thought, oh baby, I'm gonna go get so many chests there, I'll leave Baron to all these other folks. But Baron had the Zeus Rages, and that made so much difference for our other 3 racers tonight.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Zyrak, yeah, I agreed wholeheartedly. Supremacy's definitely looking for levels and for a Star Veil. If he gets enough levels, he'll just have the sheer DPS to beat Bahamut. If he finds a Star Veil, well, Bahamut beats Bahamut for you.
Couch, yeah, the glass helmet was enough to make Mad Ogres do 1 damage for Riddy in the back row, so yeah, they're going to be able to take down the Mad Ogre chest and get another bucket of experience.
His Riddia is going to be very strong indeed. But everyone else definitely behind Chokosura at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to have her be strong, I want to see a heroine robe. Yeah. It don't get stronger than that.
Yeah, Couch currently hoping for another swoon proc here instead of just having. I mean, you can get through their HP little by little, but this one's starting to hit. It's occasionally getting a hit for a little bit more. So really wanting to see a swoon proc before this thing gets a few more heavy hits on Riddia.
Chokosura now gonna take a shot and does not have Rosa in the middle.
Yeah, so her aim will definitely hit here. Ooh, Couch, that's rough. And without knowing again where the white mage is. She knows, Mecha. She knows.
She knows. And yeah, Chokosura nopes out with that as well.
Not giving it another go, though. I would just chalk that one up to bad luck and give it another go. But, you know?
Oh, then again, Chokosura has the magma key, right? Like, they've got plenty more area to check.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, we actually do want to see a hook just cash in the pink tail at the least. That's going to be a big game.
And of course, it is possible for that hook to be in Baron. Val can't block the only path, but we've already found one.
Yep.
Couch giving these Mad Ogres another go with his Black Sword and Assassin Knife. Going to try to get those insta-death procs. Supremacy going through and looting Eplin Castle, just like Couch is, but having a little easier time of it, of course. Has more levels on his team, has a 3rd body to be targeted. Does he feel he's strong enough to deal with Bahamut, though, or is he going back in? Going back in. All right, down on Couch's screen. Come on, Riddia. We need that proc. And Chokosura, please talk to Temp Drop Dwarf. Do it. Talk to Temp Drop Dwarf. Yeah, tax accountant. Hooray. No real good loot there. I guess another Assassin Knife could come in handy. But Temp Job Dwarf. Legit.
Tax accountant, does that mean that are they doing accountancy for taxes charged by King Diat, or are we talking about who's charging the taxes?
You know, that's true. I'm unfamiliar with the underground economy.
I mean, is it possible that Feymarch is another place that has a tax? They have a king and queen as well. Certainly, they could have a tax.
Actually, I guess every economy is an underground economy after you're past the magma key, huh?
Yeah. Very, very underground. You probably never. All right, and the free item down here, Twin Harp.
Hey! Chokosura makes the music play. It is paid off for him on plenty of seats. He loves to do that for the fans. And, you know, when it works wonderfully. Oh! Did you see what I saw there?
I saw a seafood party mix.
Yeah, seafood party platter. We got turtle soup and calamari. Ooh.
Yeah, that fast melee attacker at a Sura spot always can do some, but you can slow it down, and that's actually kind of a help because the slowing down part of Octomammoth's script still tags along.
Oh yeah, but Kanatsu at the Leviathan spot. That's, I believe, 34,000 HP, super fast. We have Cecil on the team, so he is our agility anchor. There's no agility agnostic flag on these. So he is going to be throwing out waves hard and fast and starting at, I believe, around 1,700 damage if you don't get, your points in on him. That's a very rough spot for Kanatsu. I'm hoping he has the crystal.
Yeah, that is a rough spot. Kanatsu doesn't mix in magic though, so we don't have to deal with the magic stat also being decent in that spot, right? We're just talking about wave and
yeah, just wave and punch,
and some slow. All right, so we checked on Yang, found him sleepy, and so it looks like Chokosura is gonna go back up and check Sheila's first.
And Couch taking another go at these Mad Ogres. They are not playing nice.
Yeah, and the luck's going worse this time. Hasn't gotten any problem.
And Supremacy banging his head against the Queen Lamia and the Black Cats. Not getting that Odin to hit. Looks like he's licking his wounds. Gonna mosey on away.
Yeah, the Black Cats have one of my favorite translation bugaboos in this because they're the we know them as the corals.
Yeah,
in
corals.
The other games.
Yeah.
And then they use blaster, not bluster. We got Luca Key. Yes. Yep. Luca Key out of Sheila, so more of a fetch quest to go.
And a fight that you're not going to be dealing with at these levels unless it's a freebie that you can hour.
Yep. And as a note, in the Catalite seeds, all of the kind of forced encounters, the trap encounters, like trap doors and the Bahamut, or not Bahamuts, the Behemoths in the lunar cave, but they're not there. So that's not an extra grind spot. It's just, a nasty.
Yep.
Chokosura making the Derek miss checks, and Supremacy taking a whack at Bahamut.
Yeah, at this point has Power Staff and some levels on Rosa, has the Black Sword on his Cecil, definitely has better DPS now. I know he has that Gaia Drum and that Stardust as well, if he's willing to throw them.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm thinking that this should be able to be done.
Yeah, and he may have it through just sheer personal damage without even having to resort to J items.
Yeah.
And it also helps that he's kind of getting these actions in very quickly, clogging the queue, keeping Bahamut from getting his next count in. I think he'll be all good with this last... Oh, there we go. Didn't even have to wait for the last Indra's Thumbin.
Yeah, Couch is finally checking out Baron, and will... I don't know how they'll feel about what they find, but they will.
Yeah, let's see if he finds those Zeus Rages. Ugh, time to start using that R button. We don't need spears.
Yeah, and that's a feature of the free enterprise randomizer in specific, is that when you open any chest, you might see that there's an R button option to discard the item. And what Couch is doing is exactly why. There's not a lot of inventory space in this game, and there are over 300 chests that you can grab items from. So even in a Catalite situation, there's not enough inventory space for you to hold all your.
Supremacy not getting quite the same high roll Chokosura did against Odin. Needs a few more hundred, like 200 more damage to get through here. That sword's about to be raised. And there we go. Rosa finishing it off.
And Baka Shinobi took a shot at Baron and still couldn't pull it off. And
whoa, where had he last saved? All the way down in Feymarch.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that they had 1 HP around, right? And yeah, they just never resaved out of Fey.
Looks like Chokosura is going to come over to the Troya quadrant of the planet. You going to give us the tunes, Choco? Oh, yeah.
and ignoring the Earth Crystal line as well, right? Like, there's a dungeon up there, there's characters up there, and Chokosura is going, nope, I want me.
I mean, this does make sense in terms of routing, just because if you take care of Cave Magnus, you have to come back to Troya to go anywhere. And at that point, you might as well go up Zot, because if you do Zot, it's going to spit you out in Baron. So routing-wise, makes perfect sense. But as far as having the team to take on whomever's at the Dark Elf spot, that might be a horse of a different color. A Chocobo of a different color.
Yeah, you are right about the routing though. And Chokosura, this is another place where people often don't check the chests. But again, in a Catalite situation, you just need the resources. And so it looks like Chokosura is actually going to loot this cave and gets crystal gauntlets for the troubles. Crystal without...
Sorry, you cut out there. Crystal without a...
drawback, as opposed to like the crystal armor, which is actively the best annoying armor.
Oh, yeah. My personal favorite bit of crystal gear is the helmet, because it's the one crystal part that gives you the same elemental resistance that Dragoon gear does, actually. The others all have various and sundry effects, but only the helmet gives you the elemental resist. Bandana, nice bit of offensive headgear, which, given that we're about to be relying on physical attacks, will not be too shabby.
Jumped right over the gap. A very cool trick.
And actually taking the safety save. I completely agree with this. This is not the dream team quite yet, and there's definitely cause for concern.
Yeah, you got 4 save slots, you should use them.
Supremacy has earned his magma key, but he's not leaving without a fight. And Baka making a very bold play, coming on down here to check out the Luca Cave item or Skilled Cave item and boss. Big play, Baka.
Yeah, and at the same time, Chokosura, whether by accident or on purpose, managed to get a quick kill, or rather a quick death against the elf, and that's just good technique.
Absolutely. All right, chat. Here in the commentary booth, we can't hear it. What song are y'all rocking tonight? Hey, little Zelda action for y'all this evening, apparently.
Yep. It's the Kakariko song. Very peaceful, very chicken.
And what does this nasty music turn our dark elf into today?
Hey, Rivers learn media. That'll serve him out. Yeah, nope. Chokosura definitely purposefully put on iron rings to cause that quick death. So, just good.
Now, Chokosura, I don't believe... Oh yeah, it was Supremacy who found the Mute Dagger. And this is one of those fights where that would come in very handy. If we had Mute Arrows, if we had an Elven Bow or a Silent Staff, those would all be very great here just to get the bonus damage against the Sisters. None of those things, though. Not too many HP to chew through here, but those spells coming off of them are going to do some real hard work.
And they just walled Rosa, so now the Cure 2 is going to bounce. And this is exactly what can happen with this spot, is they can wall up your people so you suddenly can't heal them effectively, and then... Yeah.
Did you... Oh my god. Okay. Hey, Zyrak, what was the item in Sealed Cave? I saw who the boss was. Baron Key. Oh my god.
Wow.
So here's one thing I know some racers do. One of the 12 racers in this contest tonight, Rivers McCown, will leave a save point on Mount Ordeals as soon as he gets his Paladin Cecil. He does this in the unlikely event that he has to keep that Cecil at level 1 for a rainy day wyvern fight at some place like Feymarch or Sealed Cave. That spot has, I believe, the highest speed in the game, even faster than... It's either as fast or... It's within Zeromus range,
Yeah,
but
I think
does have
it is as fast as Zeromus, right? Like it's like 1 or 2 points.
yeah. But notably, it has the highest magic attack in the game, the highest spell power. Apparently, the devs of original Final Fantasy IV really wanted to make sure that the wall didn't miss with its counter attack Petrify. So, like 127 spell power, Mega Nuke is gonna roll very high, no matter what. There, you're gonna have to agility anchor your way through that fight if you want it.
So Baka Shinobi did a little more checking in the Chocobo Force and found a heroin robe.
Ooh.
That Chokosura missed.
You know, that may be the key that Baka needs to make this fight a little bit easier.
Yeah, the heroin robe gives strength and speed. And those are both huge factors for these low speed characters like Rydia, and possibly.
And of course, combining that's something else to keep an eye out for. Supremacy finds a Dwarf Axe, which will end up being handy. If you find a Dwarf Axe and a Cursed Ring, you can combine those for -20 agility on Cecil, which, again, if we have to go through that Wyvern, you're going to want to tank Cecil's agility as low as possible and bump everyone else's agility as high as possible. So Dwarf Axe, a very good find here in the Cave to the Feymarch.
Dwarf Axe is also one of the easy ways to get Cecil backlog glitched if you don't want to go through the rigmarole of getting an arrow on him. And Chokosura actually decides to nope out of that fight entirely.
And reverts to his overworld save too. He had one at the save point right before the fight, but he realizes that this team not ready to take on the sisters. Let's head up Zot and see if we can find a few more friends.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. So I know I've lost count of our boss wives, but we had at least one to Golbez, had at least 2 to Bahamut, and now we've had at least 1 to Magus Sisters. Let's see if Baka gets through it. You know, a lot of bosses that you don't necessarily think are the rudest in an ordinary game of Free Enterprise, because you have, you know, the tools to deal with them. Catalite, you don't have all those tools, and they are being rude today.
Yep. And so Chokosura is going up. Let's see if Chokosura is doing flame dog checks. Chokosura is doing flame dog checks. Ooh, an exit. An exit is, I guess, it's nice for the next 3 floors until Rosa gets exit.
Well, you know, we may run into more bosses up here that we just can't deal with yet. Kind of nerdy housewife, we have no idea. We have not seen the other 2 characters yet.
Yeah, no, we've gotten a Rydia dupe in bed. We've had a Rosa dupe in the inn. And those are the only character slots that we have checked other than the moon spot is.
I mean, theoretically, we could still see more duplicates here.
Yep.
While older versions of Free Enterprise that seem to give you a 3-3-3-2-2 split across all spots, some members of the community have theorized that the current version, instead of that, just make sure you have 1 of each, and then all the others at random. So it could be the kind of situation where there's exactly 1 each of 4 characters, and then you can find 9 copies of the last one. Uncertain, testing's still being done with that. We probably could just actually ask Boardface and he'd tell us, but...
Giving Rydia the Blitz Whip, of all things, to do this fight against the Magus system. White Spear for Chokosura. If Kane shows up, he will have his best.
Couch gets through Golbez this time around, having a little stronger party. We'll get that Darkness Crystal. And, of course, now Rose is on the table for him. Can run to the moon and pick her up very quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, just we saw essentially the dominoes start to fall for other people as soon as they got their Rydias to reasonable level and their Rosas in play, and I expect to see the same for.
Chokosura giving us our first glimpse at what boss lies at the Maga Sister spot. It's a Lunar. Who we got? Who we got? Oh! The hits, they keep a-coming.
Hey, do you like waves? How about 2 waves? It's twice as many.
I like to imagine that Ogopogo really just wishes it had arms because it's such a friendly Canadian sea serpent, lake serpent. And it's just, it just wants to say hello.
Oh, no. They used to summon, right? Like, that's not good against Ogopogo.
Well, I know most spells draw a blaze counter. I know lightning spells draw a weak counter. And, okay, summons do draw the blaze counter as well. Okay. Chokosura did have a Cure 2 queued up, though. And also may have elemental resistant gear equipped across his characters, in which case it's not so bad.
Yeah, we mentioned the Dragoon Helm earlier. And so, yeah, it's possible there's a few more of those going around.
Yeah, it's doing the full quarter of max health to Rosa. Doesn't seem to be doing quite that much to the rest of the team. And Supremacy does a whole lot of looting of Dwarf Castle, but does not actually go challenge the boss yet. Wonder what his next play is. Oh, he's gonna go get his Luca key, of course. Chokosura winning this fight against Ogopogo through sheer attrition, it seems. Ogopogo's punches not doing too much damage, and slowly but surely getting there with the rest of the team. Appears to be out of MP on Rydia, though, and so it's let's get bonk sticking.
It is the real power bomb.
Couch's Rosa, who he named Food with his taco spiel, has been renamed Mood. And I think Couch is definitely feeling a big mood with how this seed is going tonight.
Yeah, definite big mood. This Chokosura is down to the edge here on that fight.
Oh, I mean, not too... I don't think there can be that many more HP left at this spot, but...
Cure 1 strats have been called. Trying to get Rydia up above the threshold, it looks.
So I like the situation that Supremacy's in here. He has a Mute Knife Heroine Robe Rydia, and he looks like he's on his way to the Maga Sisters fight. I think Supremacy is going to have a real fun time slicing and dicing the 3 sisters with his Rydia loadout. She'll be doing quadruple damage with that knife. She'll be super fast with the Heroine Robe. The only thing I would consider would be, I'm not sure the accuracy on the Mute Dagger. Oh, Chokosura having to take a reset. Boss wipe count, ++.
Yeah, and Baka Shinobi did pick up the Heroine Robe, but I don't know about the Mute Knife.
The Mute Knife was in the Watery Passage. None of our other racers have gotten it.
Only Supremacy. All right.
Yeah.
We're using whistle strats?
I think he just talked to the Chocobo in the Giant. I mean, not the Giant, in the Big Well. There's one south of the beds. No one ever goes down there, but...
No, I know about that Chocobo. I'm just surprised.
Oh, yeah, likewise. I'm like, wow. And regrettably, Couch has forfeited from the race. He has decided he has had enough. The C did not agree with him very well earlier, sadly, so he's calling it for the night. Sometimes you beat the Kata, sometimes the Kata beats you. But a great effort. Couch is a great racer of this game, but just skipping Baron at the start left a couple of tools out of his kit that everyone else had. Not having those Zeus rages to deal with the first Golbez fight really slowed him down. So all the love from the community to Couch 23. Good job, dude, and he will undoubtedly be back for some Eddie strats this coming weekend, in fact. Oh yeah, you want to talk about our 4 qualifiers coming up this weekend, Mecca?
Right. So this coming weekend and this coming week are our Edwards percent, as it's affectionately referred to, where all the characters will be Edward, every Edward for everybody. So we typically have qualifiers 4 times, 2 times Saturday and 2 times Sunday. Are they still the same times that they were a couple weeks ago? The essentially noon and 8:30.
Or 8, noon and 8.
Noon and 8. Okay, yeah. So yeah, noon and 8 on both Saturday and Sunday to qualify for then this final table. And so yeah, there'll be free enterprise going on. More than is happening right now will be happening over the weekend. By one race.
And you may think that, oh, Edward percent, that sounds so much worse than this. At least Edward percent, we do throw the T4 on, the S3 is on, so you can get tons of amazing gear in the overworld. And guess what? When you find those crystal swords, you sell them for the cash. Ta-da! You buy all the gear you want for your eddies, and eventually you get to take the fight to Zeromus with your favorite boy band ever.
Yeah, and we get the spoon in Edward percent.
It's possible. There's a 1 in 4 chance it's excluded from the pool and is replaced by the pass.
But if it is in there, we can equip it.
Oh yeah, we can. Oh yeah, we can.
So an additional feature in the 0.3 series of Free Enterprise is that the spoon is a 255 power weapon for Edward, as well as the 255 power throwable that it always is for Edge. So in seas where the spoon is available, the spoon goes from a joke item to Edward's best weapon by far. So in Edward percent, an early spoon can really crack open the soloable bosses. Oops. Baka Shinobi hit Chocobo and not Black Chocobo.
Please do not spoil what is happening on the other 2 races. If you want to watch them, you are welcome to do so, but please do not do that for the viewers of this channel. Much appreciated.
We will announce when people finish, because that's obviously relevant to how much the stakes are still going on for this one, but other than that, we prefer that if you want to watch the other channels, they're also doing coverage, and I'm sure that those commentators are at least as good as in Venerable.
I mean, and also, I've watched, multiple races using CAD guard links before, using multi-twitch, but generally for the World Series, if someone doesn't have the fortune to be watching all of the 12 racers at once, people like to be surprised. They like to be like, oh my goodness, it was there the whole time. So, sorry, J-Money. Not trying to be mean to you, but definitely gonna try to keep that. If it's off camera, it's off camera. We'll put it that way.
Chokosura does manage to get through Ogopogo this time, and Supremacy clears out the Maga Sisters, so we're gonna get a whole bunch of information in this.
Oh yeah, that mute knife did work. And a rat tail, so we got both tails, no hook.
Fetch quests for days.
Oh, duplicate Rydia. And a relatively free fight in the second fight in Dwarf Castle. It's either the Baron guards or the Kaipo guards.
Yeah, both of them pretty easy at that spot. That spot doesn't have a ton of HP to begin with. I think this should definitely lead players to be looking more at fighting that spot. Let's see who the other character is. Fusoya.
There we go. All right, now we're in business.
Business is booming.
Yeah, so pretty much the dream route this seed looks to have been: knock out that Golbez first try, get your Rosa, get some levels, climb up here. Hopefully you have the levels and the power to get through Ogopogo. And
Quake
then
and nuke on Fusoya in his first 5 games. So yeah. Fusoya's fully...
Fusoya has a big old backpack for us to ride in today on the way through the rest of the seed.
Yeah. And a piddly old antlion to get nuked down.
Yeah, I think Fu's a welcome addition to this party.
I think he'll do all right.
Well, I mean, pretty much Choco did get a little sidetracked by, of course, I love the Twin Harp play. I love that Chokosura sees a Twin Harp, he goes for a Twin Harp. Did cost him a little bit of time this one, but other than that, looking very good for Chokosura right now.
And now we get Exit, which is a nice little piece of speed tech that you finally get access to after the tower. Just makes life a little easier when you can exit out of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Then Tower Key, so that's not a bad place to go visit now. You can get 2 more bosses for your Fu, both of whom should crumple under the power of Nuke and Quake. Chokosura has a lot of really good options on the table now. But wants even more. Chokosura is going to go grab a 200 more HP and 6 more spells with these Mist and Octomammoth spots.
Yeah, they were both fairly beatable spots. A 380 HP CPU.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so. Supremacy also going for Flame Dog and getting a White Spear for the Kane that is now getting less and less likely.
I mean, there's a 5th character out there somewhere. The question is, do we even go for it? Like, let's just say that either of our racers finds the crystal and gets up to 10 key items before they find a 5th character. You have Rosa, you have Setzel, you have Fu. I think you're probably not actually going to worry about that 5th party member.
I mean, you don't want to be using Wall to set up your reflect strats on Zeromus, because Wall tends to wear off right before you actually need it. So if you can help it, you'd like to have a J item for that one. So if we do find a J item to back that up, I kind of agree that having 3 mages, like, you just level Rydia through the roof and you have white nuke, and Zeromus should fold as well.
Well, the one problem with that is we do have JS active, so Rydia will not learn Nuke until level 55. She has a very slow XP curve.
Okay, yeah, that is 55 is pretty late. I mean, I guess it depends on how hard it is getting that last character.
Yeah.
Because right now we're looking at mage strat.
And Chokosura, he loves the music. He loves the music so much. Going right back to Cave Magnus. Wait, no. Change the Chokosura, you tease. Okay, back in the... We doing this, Choco? We doing this? Okay, he's going to the cave.
Have you ever taken a black chocobo from the chocobo forest and gone elsewhere in the world?
Oh, yeah. I definitely have. And at some point, I'm not sure what the exact plot trigger is, but they'll even start spawning in other forests as well, past a certain point. In the vanilla game, I thought it happened because I would take my black chocobo to another forest and land on that forest, but apparently it's not that. It's just one of the game's many plot triggers that does it.
Huh. Just in case you lose track of your airship, I guess, and then go through the serpent road, and then you're on barren continent, and you don't know where your airship is, and I guess you can use the black.
Oh yeah, one thing I've done in Free Enterprise before that I recommend other people try is when you initiate the package cutscene and everything crumbles, your airship gets relocated. Sometime roll up a seed and see how many vehicles you can stack in the area immediately to the left of Mist or on those squares that get covered up. Because it turns out that each board has its own separate place it gets moved to make sure you don't soft lock. And it's honestly pretty funny to see all your vehicles lined up in a row after the Titan cutscene.
That is pretty good. Because, yeah, you can get all 4 of them there if you want.
Oh yeah, it's really silly too. It's like, okay, walk through Mist Cave, use either the Serpent Road or a black chocobo from the forest south of Baron, and you just repeat this loop until, why are all my vehicles next to the desert? This is how Final Fantasy 1 happens.
So Shokasura couldn't get an iron ring on Fusoya, so he nukes him into a mop.
Supremacy, very excited to see his. There's Nuke. I don't think I saw Quake on his quite yet. Maybe I just missed it, but Nuke, we're in business, baby. Let's go.
No, that should have it. No, yeah, it's there.
Oh,
But we won't need it here.
kind of nerdy housewife over here giving us compliments, making us all shy and sheepish. I'm blushing. Are you blushing, Mecca?
I have no shame. At work, I tell people what things I'm doing. They're just like, isn't that embarrassing? I'm like, no, you have no idea. You have no idea. Appreciated nonetheless. You can see Invenerable showing who the runners are. You should definitely follow them. They are not just good at running this particular type of seed, but running many types of seeds and maybe even other games. And you only find out if you follow.
Absolutely. So Chokosura here giving the Maga Sisters another shot. The levels that he gained in Tower of Zot should make this fairly easy. He got Berserk on Rosa notably. So Cecil's going to be here dishing out the damage.
Quake should finish this quite effectively, but he's going to go for Nuke. Is he outsped them?
No. It's that at the Dark Elf spot, the magic defense is so high, you actually won't get a lot of damage with anything, but really Meteor or Bahamut.
Oh,
sometimes.
That was actually a failed cast of Nuke then.
Yeah, there's some monsters that, like, I think, for instance, the soldiers in, like, the Kaipo guard fight and in the Gauntlet will always have no real magic defense, and you can knock them out here with Quake. But a lot of the other monsters here are just going to be too well defended to get through that defense.
If Supremacy and their boss clearing frenzy is going to clear out another pair of bosses here.
Yep. Val, not an issue for this team at this point. And then Dr. Lugay and Balnob. With the 4,000 HP at this spot split 4 ways, not going to be any trouble. And nice also to get the free full heal afterwards from the inn, just in case you finish the fight virused up, or not virused, envenomed, poisoned, word.
Is it split 3 ways or 4 ways here?
4. It has Dr. Lugay, Balnob Z, who we nearly never get to see, and then Lugay Z.
Interesting.
Yeah, usually you only see Balnob Z if someone's made a mistake.
Right. It's just I wasn't sure if Balnob Z had its own division in the pool, so that's the case is interesting. Chokosura gets their rat tail finally. Supreme Artemis Bow. We had missed that was the thing. Artemis Bow is, and we have a heroine robe and Artemis Bow.
Ooh. We could turn Rosa into a Zerker if we find some good arrows to go with it. I mean, Heroine Robe and Artemis Bow, both, they nerf your white magic and black magic stats, but they bump up your power and your speed substantially. Really puts you on the level as some of the heavier bruisers of the game.
Yeah, we could definitely see, and there's a glitch with arrows as well that makes, if we ever find good arrows, if you're berserked, you won't ever lose your last arrow. So if we end up finding Artemis arrows, for example, we could have Rosa with the full archer gear and just berserk herself rather than fight every time and just tear through some dragons.
Oh, yeah. So at this point, of course, the entire moon is available to our racers. We have cleared out, we know we've done Twin Harp, we've done Earth Crystal, we've done Dwarf Castle. We still have on the blue planet tower checks, both of them. We have Baron Key blocked by Wyvern.
I want to check a second. I don't think we've actually done Dwarf Castle.
Oh,
I
we've
think we're
not?
about to Dwarf Castle. But
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. My bad.
we know who the boss is, right? Like
Yeah.
we know that it's a guard. But
Actually, if I just saw correctly, both guards are here. Guards, and more guards.
the next it's a sequel novel by Terry Pratchett to Guards.
Okay, so we do have Dwarf Castle. My bad.
Baron has fully invaded Dwarf Castle behind.
They really want this crystal.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see either of the Fey March bosses knocked out anytime soon. Cecil in the back row may make the Octomammoth at Asura spot doable, but that Kinatsu fight is nasty.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're just hoping right now. We have the Darkness Crystal. Like they're looking for the real crystal at this point.
Yeah, you want either the real crystal or you want levels plus 10 key items so that when you're killing the moon bosses hunting for the crystal, you're also getting your double XP.
So the gating items we have left, if we have hook gating our ability to use the rat tail, and we have pan. We don't have a pan yet. Gating Sheila 2 and Sylphs, right? Like everything else is open.
Well, and of course the Baron key is
Key. Yeah, we know where it is, right? Like, but it is not easy to get.
Let's not talk about the Baron key. The Baron key will be a. We'll worry about that we'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
We get a Cecil dupe there, so no dice for supremacy on an extra character. But it is the other guards, and this will not.
Yeah, just gonna use more Quake here. No problems.
And everybody's more or less following the same plan of murdering double boss spots, because that's essentially what they've all done is murder the 2 overworld bosses, murder the 2 Baron bosses, murder the 2 Dwarf Castle bosses, and then your Fusoya's all but max power.
Oh yeah.
For Chokosura, it actually will be max power.
Yeah, having knocked out those extra bosses. Supremacy probably looks at, wait, I have Nuke and Quake? Alright, we're good. I don't need to grind him up. We'll just get it while we do these other checks.
Right.
Baka Shinobi catching up, also grabbing that Artemis bow. Supremacy after more cutscene. More cutscene. Finally see what this Dwarf Castle item is.
Yeah. And we go to Housewife ready to put money on value in Bahamut. We got tiny. Oh, it is crystal. Wow.
Wait, was that the crystal or was that a crystal ring? It was very fast.
To me, it looked like the crystal.
The crystal. Okay, so we do have go mode, but we're at 9 key items. So
that is unfortunate. So Supremacy's gonna go for the 2 key items that are supposed to be here. Yeah.
Odds are one of these will give Supremacy the 10th key item, and then it's just grind.
And by grind, we mean kill moon boss.
Yeah, moon bosses, moon trap chests can be really good as well, especially if you find like the ones vulnerable to hourglasses. Behemoths give tons of XP, and only they punch, they counter, they punch, blink up, you have a good time.
Yeah, they're kind of like CPU. They're annoying, but if you don't try to get him to kill you, you're.
Funny thing though is that Cecil is still only rocking an ogre axe.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you. Like sometimes it happens that
it was a great starting weapon. It was great Paladin's first bladed blade, but now we really want something better.
We also have 4 strengths rings in this seed so far.
I like how Supremacy sees a moon boss and starts to be like, no, okay, I'll fight it. He nearly went back to the same point.
It's fine.
Gotta be disappointed to see King Queen Eblin up at the Rubicante spot, though. Now that we know we're not going to be going through there, we won't be seeing that free fight any this way.
Rosa got a power proc to berserk one of the enemies.
That's kind of funny because the soldiers will actually hit each other.
Yeah. Once they lose their commander, they don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Baka, by the way, taking the time to kill Cecil each fight. Worried about needing that low agility.
Wow, yeah, they legitimately just Cecil has gained no levels. That is.
I mean,
that is.
and here's the problem too. Here's the real nasty part. Oh yeah, Zyrek pointing out that Baka visited Sealed Cave and saw Wyvern. The problem though is that even though the slingshot flag, as I like to call it, is on, where you get bonus XP if you're X levels behind the median, we don't have 5 characters. You don't slingshot unless you have a full party. So Cecil may be playing catch up a little more slowly than Baka's hoping for.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that worked that way. And yeah, Chokosura gets their crystal, and now we see what kind of strategy they're going to run to pick up their last key item.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, also at 9 key items, and that looks like a zigzag for the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, nobody's seen a key item that another person, like, there isn't a key item that only one person has.
Yeah, so this should end up being a pretty interesting finish. None of the key items were really gated behind any of the extremely rude bosses. Like, our Darkness Crystal, pretty much free. Admittedly, Golbez took a toll on our racers a little bit, but with those Zeus Rages, able to pull through. We've seen K not so at Leviathan. Don't have to fight that. We've seen Octomammoth at Asura. Don't have to fight it. We've seen Wyvern at Evil Wall. Wyvern at frickin' Evil Wall. But we don't have to fight it. I am so disappointed in Scholar right now.
And we get Spoon on the top of the tower, so we have our tag.
So my question then is, will Supremacy still peek the cannon room in the hopes of finding maybe a crystal sword or an Excalibur or an extra adamant armor? Well,
the answer is yes.
I mean, it's a very easy boss fight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I saw the Dark Knight sprite and I'm like, well, okay, yeah, this is fine.
Just burn him down.
Rosa having none of it.
Rosa came and got her man. got him in. Baka Shinobi gonna check out what I referred to earlier as the hair dryers. It looked.
Yeah. Baka Shinobi does have... Baka Shinobi, I believe... Wait, did Baka Shinobi... Yeah, Zyrak. Baka Shinobi totally just got the crystal. I was like, did Baka die in Dwarf Castle? But no. Baka should have the crystal. Baka would not be on the moon if Baka didn't have the crystal, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, they have it.
But also only at 2, 4, 9 key items, so not chasing the tower key.
Yeah. Extra hourglass 1 for Supremacy. They're chest checking here.
Yeah, the alerts here are not very difficult. A dose of weak from Fu, or possibly even Rosa with the arrows.
But they're also worth almost nothing. The things they summon are worth something, but the alerts themselves are.
Oh, I don't think he's doing it for the XP. I think he's doing it for the possibility of top tier loot. Although Virus won't cut it, they have high magic defense.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Virus will take. Let's. Nope. Hair dryers down. 30k.
Trying to catch Cecil up after all these fights spent asleep.
That tiny Rydia was not capable of getting Odin to hit. Just an elixir out of the hair dryer.
I mean, that's not bad. We do have Fu, and being able to restore his MP during the Zeromus fight is really, really good.
Yeah, no, like having an elixir for that is really important, I think. Especially if he's one of you going to be casting a charm arrow.
Meh. They're what, the 3rd best arrow after Artemis and Samurai?
Yeah, no. I mean,
yeah, so there's not quite the dream.
Not.
Inventory management kicking Supremacy's butt now, though.
Oh yeah, had a full inventory for a very long time. Baka Shinobi is going with the housewife's theory that there is value in Cave Bahamut.
So Baka knows that.
Interesting. Crystal hat.
Hey.
I mean, that's some good top tier gear. What do we got? And it's by hit.
Yeah, and Baka's saying nope.
You don't want to deal with 2,000 health hands.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. It's that the Bahamut spot has relatively low magic attack, but ridiculously high physical attack. So those arms are going to just be punishing the team there.
Right, the arms are going to be punishing. It has speed as well, right? Like a reasonable speed. So the arms are going to be coming back when you kill them, right? Like it's just going to be a mess of a fight.
Yeah. Supremacy really hoping to get something big from one of these alerts.
I'm hoping that there's something big on the airship pickup. So he spends all this effort getting nothing, and then if he had just walked out, he would have gotten his crystals.
That would be hilarious.
Just another Dragoon hat.
And going all the way over here to the last chest here, is it more alerts? Nope. He passed up at least one of them on his way down. Giving Chokosura time to catch up too. Choco not going for any of these alert chests.
Which seems like the play that will pay off for them. Cat. Would you like another Iridia? We got one for you.
Oh, that clogged up inventory. Supremacy's had enough of this. It's time to go Moon.
And Bakashinobi's going deep, which is something I tend to like. I personally have found that the ribbon chests have a lot of value a lot of the time. And so if you're gonna beat up on some bosses, that taking out the ones at the ribbon chest is a good place.
I am very excited ultimately to see the spoiler log on this, because I'm really hoping for some, like, if the hook is in Baron Castle, oh baby, having that delicious adamant armor gated by Wyvern. So
yeah. I'm hoping the hook's a Ogopogo spot.
I mean, that's the other thing too. I don't see our racers leaving the moon unless they find the pass. I think even with the hook, which would give you an adamant armor, that's a long walk to leave and come back. It
really is.
So they may go ahead and do boss spots in the hope they find a pass or a good weapon or a pass and the hook, but you can kind of get your XP a little faster from the trap chests.
And Bakashinobi decides that Evil Wall is not where he wants to be again, and Supremacy is going after the Limb Duel spot. Karate Man on the space karate.
That's very nice. One punch from Cecil after the second kick, and Bakashinobi's in there.
Rubicante.
Rosa, sadly, will not be getting XP from this fight. The kicks and the punches, too strong to bear.
Ouch. And you see right there why having 10 key items is such a big deal. That was 100,000 experience, which would have been 200,000 experience.
Absolutely.
If it had key items. Avenger.
That's a very, very great item to find here. Just knowing that you don't have to spend turns with Rosa and Fu zerking Cecil during the final fight. Very great pickup. I assume a lot of racers will check these bosses, especially that one since there are two chests. So it's good for Baka now, but I think a lot of people will end up with it on top of them.
And then another big thing is that the other chest was Legend Sword. Not good because it's a sword. Good because it's the 10th key item, and now that double experience is in play.
Yeah, but everyone else that Baka's up against here, at least on our little corner of the final table, will be getting 200,000 at that spot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Going after the Ogopogo spot, which is another high XP position. Let's see what we...
Element's not that bad here, actually. The first form will only punch, and if you're willing to set up a wall and bounce spells off of it, you can guarantee you don't see the second half of the fight. Of
The
course, you
problem
also
is that those punches are lethal at this point.
that's what Blink is for. Baka could handle this. Blink up, slow it down, get your wall up, and bounce fire 3s off of it, but you only get half XP at the spot, because each half of the fight's coded as its separate thing, and you only get credit for one.
Oh boy, Behemoth and Berserk, two great tastes that go well together.
Yeah, definitely needs to get the blinks going for this fight. At 1200 a pop, should take 5, 10, 14 hits to get through here, I think.
High roll of 16, so yeah, somewhere between like 12.
Yeah, that helps a bit. Oh, I was, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
10 to 15. Oh, okay, rolling high now. Okay, should only take about 10 if Baka keeps getting nice high rolls like this. Chokosura about to get handsomely rewarded with a boatload of experience, as well as his Avenger. But Supremacy has cleared out Rubicante, kept all 4 party members alive.
6 levels on their Swimmy and Adamant.
That's going to be so rude for Supremacy. If he gets down and gets the Legend Sword, he will be very, very tempted to go back to Earth to upgrade his Cecil. Excalibur into Avenger at the Zeromus fight is fantastic.
Which is another minor glitch that's available. When you switch weapons in combat, it doesn't fully switch your power and the stats of the weapon in general. So switching from Excalibur into Avenger means that you have Excalibur's attack power with Avenger's other fun effects.
Yeah.
So that's why having an Excalibur into Avenger or Crystal into Avenger can really help Cecil pump out the damage in that last fight.
And Chokosura taking a reset, by the way. His Rosa got beat up by the Karate Man while trying to get to that second kick, and so it seems that he's willing to do this fight and not gain XP with Rydia. He wants it on Rosa most of all.
And given what we talked about with regards to Rydia requiring level 55 to really perform in this Romus fight, that makes sense, right? Like, Rydia is essentially like Dan at this point.
Hobo Jim.
Wow, no, Chokosura jumped out of having Rydia even dead here.
Greedy. And yeah, Hobo Jim, the Avenger part lets you have Berserk even with the Crystal Armor's immunity. You can do any weapon into it, and you'll still be able to Zerk.
Sylph!
I mean...
we don't have to beat CPU, so it's not... Sylph is one of the few magic spells that pierces Reflect, and it's single target, and so against CPU, Sylph can often change the game in terms of being able to burn it down with Rydia. Because normally mages can't hit the back spot without hitting.
Yeah. And speaking of getting burned down, Supremacy is meddling in the affairs of dragons, which is always a dangerous prospect because you are crunchy and you taste good with ketchup. And Blizzard is based on the HP of the blue dragon.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, the Cecil didn't even crack a K, so at least Nuke's doing something, but...
Yeah. Ooh. 1,300 damage to Fu with the punch from the red dragon.
Chokosura got their Avenger, got their Legend Sword.
And got the XP that he wanted.
Got all the XP they wanted, yeah.
See if he's willing to take down the wall. There's not too much HP at this spot. And I don't think it punches that hard. I think the wall might be a reasonable thing to beat up here, especially given... No? Okay, never mind. I think everyone had a bad time with the wall last Sunday night, that they're just saying nope every time they see it.
And we don't have any death protection gear either, right? Like, so we can't just, like, write it out, even in the worst.
It looks like Supremacy might be getting through here. Here comes a heat ray. Oh my god.
Dear God, the heat ray. Asura at the Wyvern spot.
So, God.
Wow, that was a close one, and then heat ray.
Like, you want to beat the blue dragon first because or at least whittle its HP down, because its blizzard attack is based on its HP. But then, if you kill it completely, a red dragon in a fight alone will start throwing heat rays. So you really have to like dance a fine little line between getting the blue dragon to the edge of death, then killing the red dragon so you don't get heat rayed.
And that means a nice long walk for Supremacy.
I mean, the worst part for Supremacy is that he did spend, what, like 3 minutes or so? Maybe not 3, at least 2 minutes in that fight that you don't get back.
Also, some chest checking that they may or may not want to do. They didn't go re-get Soph, for example.
Yeah. Baka here being very cautious in his approach to this Asura fight, getting Blink up on everyone.
Yeah, it's the melee attacking dance party. When your enemy does nothing but melee attacks, you can no-sell the entire thing with enough.
And using that Avenger to good effect too. I'm not sure if he started the fight with the Avenger equipped. Would have been pretty nice. Oh, well, again, gotta remind myself, only Supremacy has the Mute Dagger.
Right. I think Baka Shinobi did have Avenger equipped from the start.
Yeah, and that wall wore off pretty quickly there.
Yeah. Wyvern at this spot has some fairly high speed, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay, thank you, Zyrak.
Ooh, nicely done then.
So I saw Asura cast the exact same number with Cure 4 twice in a row, which implies that Baka, there's a threshold of damage you can do to Asura. It's 2 to some power minus 1. It's around 16,000 damage. Then once you've done that, Cure 4 does not actually heal HP. Cure 4 heals MP instead. So if you're saying 16,000, it's max hit 16. It's right, like, so yeah, but yeah, once it's healing MP, right, like Cure 4 is not a problem anymore. Yeah, so I think that may be why we saw the exact same Cure 4 number back to back. Supremacy here doing something interesting, doing a double wall off of Fu. I'm wondering if he intends to cast spells off of his own Fu for the sake of, avoiding melee counters.
Interesting, but was willing to, and then was willing to berserk Rosa and just deal with the counter.
Yeesh. I mean, but Asura hitting pretty hard here. Blink strats might be the better part of Valor here.
Yeah, the Cecil gave his life for the...
And Baka is through. Very nicely executed.
And yeah, so just a note, essentially everybody's in go mode. It's all about what level, what gear do they feel like they can go after Zeromus with at this point. So they're all like, that's the calculus for all of them, is what can they kill, what can they do, and when can they fight the last.
And a Masamune. Woohoo! I mean, maybe Edge is in the seed, maybe he's at Baron Castle behind that Wyvern fight and Sealed Gate. Yeah, we're never going to use that sword.
I don't know. There's a lot of XP in the giant.
Ooh, now that is a juicy item for Baka Shinobi there. A Drain Sword, which we have an Avenger, we have a Drain Sword, we have a Cecil. Sometimes that's all you need to fight Zeromus if you have enough levels. You definitely want to have a means of slowing down Zeromus, which, hey, we got 2 people with white magic. That'll do it. Although really you'd love to have a Zeus Gauntlet, you'd love to have an Adamant
which
armor.
We do, which we don't.
Yeah, so...
We do have a Zeus Gauntlet, but we don't have an Adamant armor.
Yeah, so anyone who tries those strats is in for a very long...
long but successful fight.
I do like Baka Shinobi putting the Sorcerer robe on Cecil, by the way. Having no other heavy armor for him, might as well give him a nice helping of magic defense.
Yeah, the Sorcerer robe is reasonable endgame gear, just usually Cecil has better.
Yeah, and Supremacy does make it through with a solo Rosa.
Baka Shinobi's Cecil is actually one level below the theoretical optimum. It's at 44, right? So Baka Shinobi's actually, at this point, right, like gaining levels on Cecil starts to go into, do I care about agility anchor?
Yeah. And just for people curious about that, the basically your anchor's agility compared to the monster's agility is, well, everyone's agility really is based on like a fifth of their number. So anything from 0, and because you can't have a relative agility of 0, everything from agility 1 to 27 will make Zeromus relative agility 1 as fast as possible. 28 to 41 will make him relative agility 2. 42 to 55 will make him relative agility 3. So the 28 cutoff mark for Cecil is the way to have Zeromus at relative 2 and the rest of your team members as fast as possible. Every time you tick up with Cecil, Zeromus is staying the same, but you're slowing down the rest of your party, because Cecil, I'm pretty sure, is the fastest of these four, by a decent margin, in fact.
Yeah, by a decent margin. And that's the real thing, is it's that 28 is exactly, it's the agility that makes, Zeromus stay slow, and then also makes the rest of your party as fast as possible against it. And since we do have like Heroine Robe, Artemis Bow, it is entirely possible that we can have somebody in, relative agility, in like relative agility 3 or 2, right? Like, just like Zeromus.
Yeah. And Minko asking in the chat, so you want Cecil to be over 28? It depends. You definitely do not want your Cecil at 26 or 27. That's as bad as it gets.
And that is the other thing, is that a lot of people are willing to ignore kind of like, oh, you need to have a perfect agility anchor. If your agility anchor is just a little below the next threshold, that's where it's the worst. That is where you will get the worst Zeromus fights, is when your Cecil is, a few agility off the target.
Ooh. All right, well, we don't have to go back to Earth for an Excalibur.
All right.
I think Baka Shinobi is ready. His Rosa might want a few more levels, but Excalibur into Avenger with Fu and Rosa on backup? I mean, Fu and Cecil with that elixir that Baka has. Fu and Cecil alone could get this done. Lutzaro couch forfeited about 45 minutes into the seed. He had a little rough time getting started, missed out on some items that the other racers found in Baron because he elected to skip it, and just ran into brick wall after brick wall. Everyone else kind of had the same kind of like, snowball rolling down the mountain effect, where they had Zeus Rages, which lets them kill Golbez's Antlion. Golbez's Antlion gives Darkness Crystal, which lets them get Rosa on the moon. Rosa, third-party member, healing, all of a sudden, all these other overworld fights become much more doable, and Couch just couldn't get it going.
And we see Baka Shinobi setting up like they are going for it. Getting Rosa into melee mode, and we're going to just double Berserk with, or maybe not Berserk. Oh, we do have a ribbon. Okay. But yeah, looks like we've got a mostly melee strat here.
Whew. Good luck, Baka. We have no finishers yet, by the way. Not a single racer is done. So Baka making this play at the Zeromus fight.
And based on what we've seen, that makes a certain amount of sense, right? Like, if everybody had it wasn't like people went down rabbit holes, and you can see all of our racers here essentially in the same position, right? Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense that, right, like everybody's kind of in the middle of the same pack, right? Who knows who's exactly ahead, but nobody was able to break away because there wasn't just like a nice, clean, perfect route through the sea that anybody was ever going to take, right? Nobody was going to go to the Dwarf Castle first. Nobody was going to, right? Like,
choosing to type that and let my caps lock key be the emotion I'm feeling rather than my voice.
Cruise control for cool, baby. No, don't do that. Using caps lock is actually something that I think gets auto-modded in many channels. But,
Yep.
but I'm an oldster. All right, here's going to be our first view at a. You can say it. You like saying it more than I do.
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight? Show us, Baka. And Baka, by the way, I get also making the run at this because Baka did peek into the sealed cave and knows that he lost a couple of minutes running through there. So I like Baka going for it. Bold moves.
Oh, they used Artemis strictly for the agility manipulation, getting her 15, getting her to have a higher agility at the start of the fight, and then they swapped back to magic. Hades, and he's angry.
Oh
he's
yeah,
angry.
Those are the orange flames, not the blue ones.
No, he is angry. He is ready to take care of any heroes, and Cecil looks pretty heroic.
I mean, Cecil swinging with that. Oh, okay. He gave Rosa the speed at the start, used Riddy to anchor, and is now switching Riddy over to Zerk. But, ooh, eating the nuke on Cecil.
Oof, yeah.
And the big bang immediately after. Hopefully the nerfing means Cecil will survive this. He won't have to be rezzed. Whew. Dodged one of the rolls. A nerfed big bang will do at most 1,200 damage. So, dodged that bullet there.
All right, and Cecil is swinging for 4K. That is a reasonable amount.
Rydia doing her best to add a little bit of chip damage. She, of course, will not survive an unnerfed Big Bang. I'm wondering if Baka's going to try to nerf them as they come, or just hope that his Fu and Rosa can just outright survive.
And Chokosura is essentially taking the same line. They got Excalibur out of that fight, and they are ready to.
And Supremacy fighting the evil wall now. I bet we'll see the same thing, but his Cecil needs a few more levels. He's not peaked that Yang fight though yet, has he?
He has Legend Sword, so he has finished.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah, so Supremacy's gonna need to get a few more levels somewhere. And Baka Shinobi did an expert timing on that nerf, but the counter nukes are just utterly dunking on his poor Cecil. Luckily, Life 2 will do that. Oh, Zilch saying he's not done Yang yet. Okay, so Supremacy should... Yeah, I don't see an Avenger there. Supremacy, save up, and we'll be getting 200,000 XP, which might put him ready to go as well. Meanwhile, Chokosura entering the fight. Have very similar teams approaching this fight in surprisingly different ways. Did you catch how Chokosura set up his ladies for their offense / defense?
I didn't, no. I did see that that Baka Shinobi re-Avenger to get Cecil berserking again after that black hole.
Oh yeah, because if you wipe and come back up, you can kind of get locked in the mimic glitch status, and then
Correct.
you're not getting it going again.
And so yeah, they were being very heads up about that and took care of it quickly.
I do notice that Chokosura is anchoring with Fu. Wait, no, you're not anchoring with Fu.
Yeah,
Cecil's your
Cecil's in
anchor.
the party. Yeah.
Oh, there's no AA flag. Ugh.
Yep. Sorry. Oh, unnerfed Big Bang takes out both of the ladies. Ooh, that is less than ideal.
And the virus will knock down Fu.
And we're not in medio phase. Without adamant on him, he's not going to make.
And the problem is that with the Avenger, he doesn't come out of the Berserk status, so he can't pick the rest of the team up, even if he had life potions.
I think this is a reset, and Baka Shinobi should get those few seconds of their life back.
Yeah, it is notable that Chokosura's Cecil has 500 HP more than Baka Shinobi's, so Chokosura here did opt to go with levels over perfect agility anchoring. Chokosura does not have the Excalibur. Chokosura must have just done the other spot. So Chokosura's
I know they were fighting Evo Wall. They just must not have won.
Or decided they didn't want to take the time to do it. So Supremacy now poised to come into this fight with Supremacy still grinding. Never mind.
At least he picked a quick fight to grind on.
That's true. So the question is, can Chokosura manage his MP and his healing to get through here in time? But he won't be taking first place. That is given to one Rivers McCown, finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, 30 seconds. GG to Rivers. Way to bring it home here in the Catalite final table.
Rivers was at 14 points before this. The 12 points here puts him up to 26, which boosts him up into third place after Chokosura and Dusty Griff.
Supremacy here, still hunting, wanting more XP. Baka, meanwhile, not hesitating, coming on down, gonna give Zeromus another swing. I mean, you can tell by looking at the HP that Supremacy's Cecil is
I was afraid of that. Chokosura did a virus that didn't trigger a counter, and and then the Big Bang just was unnerved and went poorly.
Well, he still has both his white mages alive and his Cecil, Zerking with Ogre Axe into Avenger, which, I guess it's okay.
Not as good, but yeah, this is recoverable. Like, it's not a disaster yet. Rydia was definitely the weakest of the four to begin with.
And Supremacy is about to be disappointed in the XP he receives from this Elements fight. It will not be the full Ogopogo value. It'll be a proportion of it.
And that's assuming that he can get through it.
Yeah. Let's see if Ice3 does. Okay.
Nice.
He's probably trying to get his Rosa to 2400 HP, but I think at this point, with someone done already, you got to go for it.
And there is Pan. How cute.
I don't think he's going to go get Tuki out. I mean, he could gamble that it'll be like Hook into Rat Tail past Pink Tail Adamant. No, don't do that.
Or yeah, like that seems really bad.
Chokosura up here, again, still carefully managing this fight. Fu, of course, only has 190 MP. Rosa will have a lot more than that, but she may not have life 2 at these levels.
I don't think she does.
So then the question is, if you have to life 2 with Fu, oh my gosh, that's over a quarter of his MP pool. And do you then at that point plan to try to steal MP from one of your other characters as a mana battery, or what do you do? What do you do?
Right, if we have an elixir sitting around, for example, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Baka Shinobi gets a good nuke, taking out Rydia, who wasn't good for much in this fight anyway.
And we do have a second place finisher overall. Error has come in second with a 143.19. GG to Error. I think we're about to see a lot of people coming across the finish line. We do have 2 racers in the fight on our screen, and we're about to have a third. It's probably the same across most of these final tables, so get ready for these to come in fast and furious.
Error was at 16, so 11 points there puts them at 27, which is just ahead of Rivers' new 26, putting them in third place. Rivers at 4th, and Scratch Dragon at 5th at 20.
Rivers celebrating that victory, and then to get past just by 1 point.
By 1 point.
Doing a lot of re-equipping up here. Going to go Arrow Strats on the Rydia.
We have Rosa and the Cecil left. Chokosura's hanging on.
Oh, and 3rd and 4th place have crossed the finish line within 12 seconds of each other. Moonblaze Wolf 3rd with a 144.27, and Dusty Griff with a 144.39. Super close, super well done by both of them.
Now, Moonblaze Wolf comes up to 25, which ties them with Scratch Dragon at 5th. Dusty Griff racking up 9 points, actually the lowest they've ever gotten. but still putting them at a very, a commanding 52 in first place.
Dusty showing blood in the water for this upcoming Edward weekend.
It's true. This is 12, 11, 12, 10, 9, right? Like Reject and Catalite were not as strong for him. It's possible that
they were still really ridiculously strong. Let's be honest.
They're only getting third and fourth out of 12 people in a qualification tournament. Yeah, not strong enough.
Yeah. Oh, and there's fifth, Simbu with a 145.29. GG to Simbu. I know he's a big fan of this flag set, and katas in general, so very well done by him.
That puts Simbu Little Penguinator at, I believe, 7th now. And we do have the triple Zeromus fight going on.
Notably, this is Baka Shinobi's second swing at the fight. He is rocking an Excalibur into Avenger on his Cecil. Chokosura is still in his first iteration of it, using Ogre Axe into Avenger. So there's a decent chance that Baka comes from behind here, as long as he doesn't have as bad luck as he did last time with all of those nukes hitting his DPS.
Yeah, and I believe Supremacy also has the Excalibur, so while Supremacy's a little bit behind, still, has the power to get through the fight.
And Chokosura does eat an unnerfed Big Bang, uses only a life one with Fu to get Rosa back up, so she can do the heavy healing. Because that Fu's down to, I believe, 60-ish? And Rosa's down to 100. Chokosura is very low on MP. Very low.
Meanwhile, Supremacy is Artemis Arrow's berserking Theridia. Gonna get some damage in while the game.
Supremacy eating the counter nuke on his Cecil. Also gonna hope for a nice low roll here. Don't think that Cure 3... Well, it might... Yeah, it should get out before the Big Bang does. Come on, Rosa Bay. Give us our healings. Oh, excellent point from Kate Sith. Baka reflecting slows off his own team to avoid counter nukes, but still get the slow effect stacked onto Zeromus here. Hades-omus.
How many slow stacks works?
2 will. 2.
Okay.
Yeah, on any given fight in the game. One interesting thing about this fight, though, is that if you have, say if you're doing full Zerker strats, and you do have a really low agility anchor, doing the double slow doesn't actually get you any more turns. It's very weird. Simbu has actually done a lot of experimenting on this, and that's some really great guides available linked on the Discord, which, if you're not on the Discord, what's wrong with you? Come on to the Discord. So strangely, using it on Zeromus, at least at relative agility 1 with Zerker strats, doesn't really get you too much extra. But when you're at relative agility 2, like all these runners are, you start to get mileage out of applying slow twice.
That makes sense.
It may look a little dicey for Choco.
Rydia.
But Choco still had that elixir up his sleeve, which he's popping now to max out Rosa's MP. Needs to get a turn on her, though.
Doesn't Cure 4 have a faster cast time?
It does, but I think after nearly running out of MP, Chokosura is a little worried about fully, using that big 40 bomb instead of just the 18 MP of Cure 3.
That makes sense. All right, so Chokosura is down to the two-person strats. Meteor Phase for Baka Shinobi, and Cecil's down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, gets the full heal on Rosa.
So she can get Cecil up and then out of the Mimic Glitch state.
But, he has to dodge a Meteo.
Yeah.
If he doesn't... Oh my gosh. So he's going to... Okay, he's waiting on a Meteo to throw the life immediately and hope he gets a second action. Better cast that Cure 4 quickly. Oh, goodness. Baka is in a pickle. Need to get that run buffer off, it looks like. Wait for the Meteo, then run buffer the Cure 4, and maybe you can pull this off? Zeus, it depends on what you're going for. Each has their own advantages and disadvantages. Items are instacast, so there is that at least. Neon calling out the Galaxy Brain play. That was the run buffer. And then trying to throw a life too. Does Fu dodge this?
Yeah, does Fu dodge? No!
Oh, this is so mean. Baka Shinobi has come back from behind, and his Rosa is dodging all the Meteos. Like, do you still have that bow?
Yeah, Chokosura is in Meteo phase and has 3 people up. With good health. So
the bow, the Artemis bow, is on Rosa's dead body.
Yeah, on Rydia's dead body. Yeah.
Okay, good. Fu got a dodge. Here we go. He's gonna life to Cecil. Chokosura and Baka Shinobi are going to be coming in here like neck and neck. One of them is going to snipe the other by a nose.
I think Chokosura is going to get this. It's just taken too long for Baka Shinobi to recover.
Is Chokosura casting Meteo?
I hope that Chokosura is casting...
Oh no, Lightning 2. All right. That big 854 damage.
Just didn't have the MP for anything.
Baka, why are you casting all these spells? Just let Cecil finish it. Yeah, Lightning 2, I don't have high hopes for. Come on. Almost there. Just need Cecil. One more swing, Cecil. There we go. Crack boom.
Baka Shinobi gets it.
Very well done. Official time of 1:52:23. Oh my goodness.
And Chokosura is done as well.
With a 1:52:32. 9 seconds between the two of them. Wow.
That's some good racing.
I'm looking forward to letting Baka Shinobi break some both good news and bad news to Chokosura when we get them in here. So I'm really looking forward to having them both in here simultaneously.
So what place does that put each of these finishers in?
6th and 7th, respectively.
6th being worth 7 points, and 7th being worth 6 points.
Yeah.
So that means that Chokosura picks up 6, putting them at 38. So that keeps them in 2nd place. No slippage there. And Baka Shinobi picking up 7 puts them up at 16, which puts them up amidst the other kind of there's a big group in kind of the 14, 15, 16 range. So, single digit place, right? Yeah. So definitely some good progression there for definitely kind of what they both wanted to see out of this result, right? Like getting some good points, getting some good progression in the standings.
All right, there is Baka Shinobi. Baka, as soon as Chokosura gets in here, I want you to share some very good news and some very bad news with him, given that you sniped him. But I'll wait until... Okay, here we go. Okay, Chokosura.
I'm here.
Okay, Baka Shinobi has some good news and some bad news for you. Baka, the good news. Will you tell us what you saw in the sealed cave?
Oh yeah, so there's a great friend there that we all love, and we all love. It's a wyvern waiting to go and roast everyone's face.
And not just that, but the Baron key was there too, so who knows what lay behind it. The bad news is, Baka, will you tell Chokosuro what you got from the Evil Wall fight on the moon?
Oh, that was an X scale.
Oh, please. Wow, really?
That 9 seconds difference. Like, you actually entered the fight after Baka. Baka took a wipe because of some really bad counter nukes, and then was able to come back and get you at the end just because of that bonus Cecil power. But great job, both of you. So, yeah,
I'm going to interrupt because Supremacy just finished as well. I can't see the official time. There we go, 1:54:51. So GG's Supremacy.
And Supremacy is declining an interview tonight, so great race, you two, neck and neck at the finish. How did you feel so let's go, Baka, how did you feel about the early game of there? The very beginning, you seem to have a little rougher time getting going than Choco did.
I probably just relied on radio a lot, didn't want to go and do ordeals in case of something like, oh, I don't know, Wyvern at Seal's Cave, and then just floundered a little bit. So when I checked that, it's like, oh, I should really keep Cecil dead. And then that took a lot of time.
Yeah. And Choco, you had a great early game, having those Zeus Rages to knock out Golbez, let you get your Rosa online very quickly. But the main thing is you were the first one to find Fu. What was your idea going forward from that point? Like, you had to be very conservative in your play. What was your plan going forward at that point?
Well, as soon as I saw it was Fu, I knew I could actually, have a decent mid game with him. I know my early game, it was okay, I thought, but I know I made a lot of mistakes. But especially going to Twin Harp when I did.
I walked out of Twin Harp. I left Twin Harp, went to Eblin Castle to just grind levels, and found a mute knife in the Mad Ogre's chest, and decided that was enough to go back.
Yeah, the mute knife made a huge difference for both Supremacy and Baka Shinobi in that fight. But
additionally, there's a heroin robe in the Chocobo Forest.
Yes, the
Chocobo. Check those. I need to start checking those.
Yeah, you checked the foot.
You checked the foot, but you checked the foot, but you didn't check.
Oh, right, there's 2 chests there.
Yeah. But great showings from both of you tonight. Are you both going to be doing Edward Percent tomorrow and Sunday?
I'll probably spend some time on it.
Okay. Choco, how about you?
I'm going to try, but
I mean, you've been killing it. If anyone's going to catch Dusty Griff at this point, I think it's in your hands, right?
I suppose. I do want to say though, on the Magus Sisters, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I actually used a strategy using Shell.
Oh, to make their walls miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Somebody mentioned that in the chat, and I had missed that.
I think it was Swimming Liani that mentioned that.
Yeah, he tried it on Lunar Dragons the other night, and it worked on them.
Yeah, I just remembered about that Shell strat when I went back there with Fu. So I decided to use it.
Cool. And yeah, at that point there was so much going on with everyone getting their Fu and everything. So did it work? Did the walls fail and they just kept hitting themselves? Or just no spells working at all?
Though no spells worked at all, including my own. I tried to nuke on the next turn, but
yeah, I saw the nuke dodge, and that's where I was like, something's going on here, but I'd missed the entire story. So that's what was going on, was you'd shelled them, and then the spot already has incredibly high magic defense, right? Like, so the shell hitting, the shell hitting did the job, right. But then nuke doesn't work either.
And then all they do is occasionally take a swing at you with their little knives. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a very clever play. I would have saved for amount of time if I thought of that.
Yeah, I just remembered that because I learned that just the other day. So I figured, why not? Let's try it.
We do have a 10th place finisher. Aizen Tayama has finished with a 1:59.12. So I believe we are, there we go, last place as well, not last place, 11th place. Night Dew is wrapped up with a 1:59.41. All the racers who finished coming in under 2 hours on this Catalite final table. Very nice to all of you.
Yeah, that's a pretty good performance. Sometimes starting out with Dark Knight Cecil and not getting the third character for a decent chunk of time, right, like can definitely make a seed slow.
But I think that is about all for us tonight. A great race again by both of you. Looking forward to seeing you this coming weekend. Mecha, do you have any other thoughts before we close up shop?
Just make sure to follow these runners. That was, at the end, that was a really good race, and it could have. I thought that that it was going to go Chokosura's way because he had more party members alive when Meteor Phase hit, but Baka Shinobi managed to flood out with the DPS, right? Like, follow the runners, make sure that you reward them for performing well tonight.
Yeah, that was not my favorite Meteor Phase.
Yeah, no, that was a tough Meteor Phase for Baka Shinobi, but Chokosura had all their characters up, so I thought, Chokosura was going to manage to pull through faster, and then Baka Shinobi recovered just in time.
I was thinking about doing a flex dress with both Rosa and Vidya, but I decided let's try and see if we can slog our way through this fight. That fight just took too long for my liking.
Ogre Axe life.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Life is rough.
I had to recover by life-winning Fu, getting a lucky dodge, healing, and then life-doing Cecil back up. That only took like five or six life ones between the two attempts, or
I suppose I could have tried the evil wall. I had two people with blink, so I just snoped out right away. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
probably could have got through that.
It would have probably shaved that 9 seconds off for you and then some. But hey, rando
but then how long would the fight have taken?
True.
I mean, Plague Spot's not too bad, but it could have been just as easily been a Drain Spear as it was an Excalibur. So who can say for sure when you're
Drain? I had a Drain sword on me, so if it came down to it,
if all else fails, yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a Drain Sword on the moon, wasn't there?
It sure was.
Yep.
Chest next to the Wyvern spot.
Yeah.
Yep. Thankfully, we didn't have to go through that slog again.
Thank goodness. I was prepared if I had to, but thank goodness I didn't.
Yeah, that Avenger in the ribbon spot was certainly a nice pickup.
Oh, definitely. I was glad when I saw that.
Oh yeah, very, very great find.
Yeah, nobody had any weapon better than Ogre Axe until that point, so...
I'm wondering if anyone's going to go dive into the seed and figure out who the 5th character was. I'll be checking race spoilers later to see if anyone bothers figuring that out.
Did anyone find the hook? I really wanted that.
Yeah, I was looking for that too.
Oh man, the hook, I watched the spoiler log, the hook was at Sylph, which is to say it was behind Pan, which was at the Ogopogo spot.
Oh no.
So it's not too bad to figure out. Just in its elements at Ogopogo, so just knock them out right quick, turn in your Pan, get your hook, maybe peek the Evelyn character, and report back to us in race spoilers.
I'll have to go give that a check, because I'm curious as to where the pan or the pass is as well.
Yeah.
I think someone said it was on D-Mist.
But where's D-Mist?
And package is apparently behind Odin spot too, according to Kate Sith in the chat.
Yeah, Water Hag at Odin spot.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
But yeah, of course, dealing with the Wyvern. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Wyvern had the Baron key. That's right.
Yeah.
And where was he? In Seal Cave?
Seal's Cave.
Yeah.
I kept Cecil level 1. I scouted that early specifically to know if I had to keep Cecil at level 1 to deal with that super fun show. I'm kind of sad it didn't come into play because then I would have felt really smart keeping that character dead for those 2 fights where he could have helped.
I was thinking about keeping Cecil dead, but then I would have no real DPS until I got food. But I don't know.
Yeah, that heroine robe was... Rydia was really bonking people with her stick.
All right, y'all. Well, I think we are about ready to call it a night. Thank everyone in the audience for coming out. Thank you, Baka Shinobi. Thank you, Chokosura. Great performances tonight. Huge shout out to the Restream team, Tirasu, our Restreamer, Zyrak, our tracker, Mecha Link. Great doing comms with you, buddy.
Great doing comms. We didn't get in enough references. We'll have to fix that next time.
Hey, maybe we'll have a nice long Edward seed next Friday. We'll see. But yeah. For everyone here at the Free Enterprise channel, we're going to call it a night, and we will see y'all tomorrow at noon Eastern for the first Edward Percent qualifier. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.